So taking a comfortable seat here on a Warrior Wednesday, I'm going to do a pretty active practice this morning. But I'm thinking about this practice ahead. I think I'd like to theme this, the journey of the gentle warrior. So I'd like to invite you to do some of these more challenging, more rigorous, more strength-based postures in a softer way today. So let's begin that by just sitting with strength and softness. And see what that feels like to you, to really plant, to root yourself down, to press with your hands and feel the gravity and the weight of the body strong here. And the breath infusing this strong seat with softness. You might close your eyes and exaggerate a few deeper breaths. I'm going to start us with a very simple quote from Pattabhi Jois. He's the father of Ashtanga Yoga. He said, "Do your practice, and all is coming." That's it, do your practice. So thank you for showing up this morning, or whatever time you're doing this practice where you are, for making this part of the ritual of your day. We're going to bring our hands together and rub the hands vigorously. Let's get some heat in our palms. And this heat is a symbol of the energy in our body, right? This is how we kind of feel that we are energized, we're alive. And as you stop rubbing, just bring your hands 1 or 2 inches away from each other, but notice how you can still feel your hands. The right feels the left feels the right. And then with eyes closed, begin to pull the hands apart and bring them closer together. And just get a sense of this soft, warm energy between your hands. In yoga, we refer to this energy as our prana. The Taoist would refer to this as chi, your life force, the energy of the earth, the sky, the sun, of the plants, and your body. So continue to make this movement bigger, inhaling the arms open and exhaling the hands back together, and just see if you can still feel the sense of this energy. Matching movement with your breath. Let's let that continue to get larger, and we'll start to bring our hands up a little higher, reaching toward the corners of the room and back down toward the belly. Inhale up. Exhale, pull in. Just find the softness. Notice if there's any rigidity in your fingers, your elbows, your shoulders. See if you can soften this movement just a little. And then start to make a huge circle around you, scooping up and coming down. Come right up across the heart center, lift high, and lower the arms. Strength and softness. As we're taking these last few breaths with movement in a seated posture, I invite you to think of an area in your life where you are being asked to be strong. A place where you need your strength. You need this physical grounding, and you need to tap into your power. And let's use that as a lens to see if we can step into that strength, that power, with a softness. We don't want the hard things in our life to make us hard. Release the hands, let the fingers touch the earth, sit tall. Take one more deep breath here. Do your practice and all is coming. Go around to the tabletop position. And planting hands and knees, start to move through cat and cow. And I'd like you to let the tailbone lead the way. So there's almost this kind of snake-like movement of the spine, where the tailbone and the head are doing two different things. So the tailbone tucks and the rest of the spine follows. Eventually the head moves. See if you can move the sections of the spine separately. Coming into a neutral spine, turn to look over your left shoulder and pull your left hip forward so you're bending your body sideways. Come back to center, turn to look over your right shoulder. Neutral and side, feeling those muscles around the waist, the side body. And come back to center. Moving into spinal balance, extend your left leg straight back and your right arm forward. Take a nice deep breath here. As you exhale, knee touches elbow. I'd like you to crunch as tight, as small as you can, and then reach as far as you can. Start to move as much range as you can in both of these directions, building heat through the middle. Strength that is soft. You might get the image of water. Water's soft, but it's also able to cut through stone. Reach all the way out. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Let your hand come to the floor. Cross that leg behind you. Turn the foot to its outer edge and then turn to look over your shoulder at that left foot. So the left foot is lying on its side. You might even walk your left hand farther forward so you get a little more space in that left side body. Breathe here. And then ease your way back to center, tabletop position. We'll reverse that process. So the right leg comes back, left arm extends, and now move with your breath. Crunch into this tight little ball, and then really reach out. You might hear the sound of your breath making that H sound, whisper. One more time, in, and really reach out. Find your core. Set the hand down. The right leg crosses back, come to the outside edge of your right foot and turn to look over your shoulder. You can walk the right hand forward a bit more. A little more side body stretch. Breathe here. And find your way back to center, neutral spine. Let's tuck the toes. Take the knees just a little bit wider, press back into your toes, and we're going to windshield wiper the feet side to side. So stretching under your pinky toe and under your big toe as you roll across your knees. Feeling stretch in your outer hip. And then neutral, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Let's come into downward facing dog. We're gonna do a little flowy dog here. Bella's like, what? Dog. Come up onto your toes, drop your heels over to the left. And come up and drop your heels to the right. So you might need a little wider stance if you've got big feet like me. Make room for your feet. The outer edge of one, the inner edge of the other. Lift and drop. And moving to the center, let's take a walk. We'll come to the top of our mat and hang down here in forward fold. Elbows are touching. Spine is long. Hands are touching elbows. And then just let your head dangle there. Feel your exhale. Shift to the left, shift to the right. Strength through the feet and legs, and then softness in the upper body. Let's take that softness with us here as we press to the thighs. Inhale, lift halfway. Then you're just going to melt down with your exhale. Press and lengthen into your strength and melt down. Exhale. One more time. Press and lengthen. Sigh it out. Good. Bend your knees. Let's take a slow rise, extended mountain. Feet are a little wider than hips distance apart. Hands meet at the heart. Sink down into chair. And move with your breath. I'm going to start to add a little twist to this. So come down into chair and let your right arm reach behind you, left arm reach forward. And then switch. And switch. You're staying in your chair. Start to follow that back arm with your eyes, looking over your shoulder. Core stays strong. And both arms reach high. Swan dive, forward fold. Let's do that a few times, everybody. Reach high and bow low. The next time you reach high, pause. Drop the left arm to the side, stretch the right arm up and out, and circle that wrist. Just come into that side body. You can press your hand to your hip if you need a little support. Go both directions with the wrist. And reach high. Bend towards your right side. Circle out your left wrist. Loosen up there. Stay rhythmic with breath. And come back to center. Inhale the arms up high, stretch, stretch, stretch. Soften the knees, exhale, forward fold. Take a hold of your big toes. Inhale to a half lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, pull yourself down a little deeper. Nod the head, yes and no. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, pull up to a flat back. Use the strength of your arms to draw you down. Once more, everybody. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Release the hands to the mat. Step back into downward facing dog. Settle those heels toward the earth. And then everybody shift forward with me. Come into plank pose. You can pause here, open up the shoulder blades, find your strong core. And either on knees or toes, lower halfway down, chaturanga. If you're on your knees, melt to the floor. If you're on your toes, come to upward facing dog. If you're on the floor, it's a gentle cobra. And then back we go. Downward facing dog. Everybody pedal the heels here. Find the Achilles tendons. Find the backs of the knees and the hamstrings. On an inhale, raise the right leg high. Exhale, shoot your body forward, draw the knee to the chin. And then inhale again, lift up high, knee to chin. Find that strong core. And then settle that foot between your thumbs. Placing the left hand on the ground, let's circle the right arm. Nice, easy shoulder circles. Find the strength of your foundation. And then let softness come into the movement with your breath. Just opening into that twist. And that hand comes to the floor. Back foot meets the front foot. Lift halfway. And fold yourself in half. Inhale the arms up overhead. And bring your hands to your heart. Hopefully we're getting warm. Let's do that again, everybody. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, bow low. Widen your stance. Take a hold of the big toes. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then use your arms to pull you down. Big exhale. 2 more times, friends. Lengthen and lower. Lengthen and lower. Hands come to the mat, step it back. Down dog. Shifting forward, plank pose. Find that strong core. You can be on your knees or your toes. Lower halfway down. And then choosing either cobra or upward facing dog. We'll step back into downward facing dog, pedaling the heels. Sometimes we hold our breath as we move through that vinyasa, so take a few deep breaths here, friends. And on your inhale, the left leg comes up high. Exhale, shoot the body forward, knee to chin. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step that foot through. Low lunge. We'll circle the left arm. Strength and softness. The yoga term for that is Sthira Sukha Asanam. Steady and sweet in equal measure. Good. Go ahead and lower that hand to the mat. Back foot steps forward. Lower yourself down. Lifting into a flat back. Reach the arms high, extended mountain. And bring your hands to your heart. Take your feet just a little bit wider. So another twisting action. I'm just going to start to move our body side to side. And if you were standing right in the middle of the face of a clock, your hands would be stopping at 3 and 9. 3 and 9. You can let your hips go with your torso a little bit. And then see if you can go just a little bit further, maybe 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock, maybe 5 and 7. Without any strain here, just let your body twist from side to side. Let your eyes follow nice and slow. And then come back to center. Bring your palms forward and open the arms up nice and wide. Turn the toes out. Stand in this nice little open position, back bend. And then let's start to put a bend in our knees. This is called sun pose. Let's move. Inhale, lift. Arms stay straight. Exhale, open into sun. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Try to keep your knees lined up over your toes, but you want a nice, strong stance. Knees turning out. Really nice, everybody. Feel the strength in your back. Also the softness. Calm down one more time into sun pose. Like you're holding the sun in your arms. And then if you like, come up onto your toes. Let's play with balance a little bit here. Your breath is steady. Find some softness here. Good. If your heels are lifted, drop the heels. Let the elbows come into the waist. Palms come together in front of your heart. Let's turn toward our right foot. And we're going to lower down onto the left knee. Let's take a couple of rocks forward and back. Starting to feel those nice long hamstrings, the softness of our hip flexors. Sometimes it's just reframing, right? All right, coming to that kneeling lunge, we'll bring both hands to the inside of our right foot. This is lizard pose. So you can stay just like this, but I'll give you a few options here. Option number one is to come to the outside edge of the right foot and just drop that knee open. And I kind of like to just weave in and out. So you might explore a little bit of movement there at the hip. Another option is to lower one elbow or maybe both. I'll probably need a block if I wanted to do both. So I invite you to find a way to be in lizard pose, either in stillness or movement. Notice where this pose feels strong and where it might feel rigid. And can you bring some softness into that rigidity? Your breath is steady. The hips are opening. A little patience here. Just do your practice, and all is coming. And let's bring ourselves up if we've lowered down. Place the right foot flat on the floor and tuck the back toes. So we're still inside that foot. I think I'm going to angle this way just a little bit for you. I'm going to tuck my elbow underneath this right foot, right? So we're in a little bit of a lunge, and the elbow, the shoulder is trying to sneak its way under that right foot. It's an interesting place to play, and if you'd like to try something a little more tricky, wiggle your toes out and see if you can wave at me with your foot. Just let that foot wave. It'll prepare us for our pose later. And then find your way out of that. We'll drop the knee back to the ground. Took a little bit of effort there. Let's tuck the toes, drop the heel, and come up into warrior one. And everybody join me in a big whew for that. All right, good. The fingers interlace, hands come to the back of the head. Let's press back. Opening here. Feel the hip flexor. Feel the chest. We're just going to move with our breath again. So let's find that softness. Open your arms out into soft cactus arms. And on the exhale, hinge forward. Palms come together. The torso is over the front leg. And then open again. Let there be just like soft, feathery wings here. The lower body has the strength. The upper body and the breath have the sweetness. And then come up into warrior one. Take the left arm forward and the right arm straight to the side. So your arms are in a 90 degree. And then I'd like you to just move the right hand back until you feel the edge. This is your twisting warrior. No strain. Just a nice, easy twist. And if you'd like, you can just kind of pulse that hand back a little more, test the waters. Stay tall. Breathe. Remaining in this twist, bring your hands in front of your heart, hinge over your leg, and see about left elbow to right knee. And the back foot is still turned out in warrior pose. This is a big, big twist. Twisting warrior. Soft and strong. And then unwind back to center. Turn to the wide side of your mat. Let's come back to sun. Woo, baby. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Everybody feeling good? Nice and warm, strong and soft. You can set the pace of your movement. Just keep things soft. Holding sun pose with the option of balance. Steady your breath. Put a smile on your face. You are strong and soft. Lower the heels, draw the hands together, and turn toward your left foot. Let's bring the hands down and drop the knee for kneeling lunge. And then just beginning to rock forward and back. We're on a nice long journey here, the journey of the gentle warrior. Practicing here to be both strong and soft in those moments in our lives when we need both. Let's come to that kneeling lunge. Hands come to the inside of the left foot for lizard. This might be a perfect place to stay. You might enjoy dropping the left knee, coming to the outside of the foot, or maybe movement. And you can explore coming a little bit closer to the ground. Whatever you choose, friends, close your eyes and feel where you are. Feel into being embodied. What's it like to be alive in your skin right here, right now? Take fuller breaths. Distribute that oxygen better. Movement or stillness, it's all good. You decide. And then we'll be on our hands. Place the left foot flat on the floor and tuck your right toes. Come to low lunge. And let's start to wedge that tricep underneath the left knee. And you can just stay like that, or you might want to wiggle those toes forward and pet your dog with your toes. And as you unwind everything, let's drop the knee again. And then we'll come on up into Warrior One. So planting the feet, rising up slowly. We were down there for a while. Good, solid feet. Interlace the fingers, hands on the back of the head, press, lift, open, breathe. This is you being open to whatever is next, very next moment. You're receptive, you're ready, strong and calm. Flowing with breath, find soft cactus arms. Think of those really soft cactus hairs, and then just float forward, right over the leg and open. Just like a wave. Easy undulation forward and back with breath. And then coming up into Warrior One. Let's take those 90-degree arms, right arm forward, left arm back, and then start to press the left palm behind you. Turn to follow that hand. No strain, no pain. Just gentle reaches back with that left hand. There's your twist. Twisting warrior. Breathe deep. Keeping your twist, hands come to heart center, shift forward over the leg, and then see if the right elbow wants to meet the left knee. Twisting warrior. A little deeper. Back foot stays turned out and flat. And bringing the fingertips to the ground, let's walk into wide straddle. So all 10 toes face the side of the mat. Lower your head down, nod your head yes, and shake your head no. Take the deepest breaths you can. Give your brain lots of oxygen. Bring the hands back so they're right between your feet. So you have 20 digits facing forward. And then start to bend your knees till you can feel the thighs maybe touching the backs of your elbows, backs of your arms. So you can just keep doing this, just this gentle squat, touching your arms. If you'd like a little bit more, bring your hands back even further, create a shelf, and just let your hips rest there. This is the prep for Firefly. It's an arm balance, but it's also a deep hip opener. So just staying right here in this prep position is a wonderful way to get the hips open and stretched. Strong and soft. Slowly straighten the legs. Take a nice flat back, come up onto your fingertips. Let's turn the toes out, a little bit wider feet, and then just start to lunge side to side. Just feel that easy inner thigh stretch. Coming over to the right side, bring your hand to the inside of the right foot, bend the knee, and once again, let the elbow kind of sneak behind the knee, and just put your weight on the back of that arm. That should be a pretty intense inner thigh stretch. And then let's switch, come over to the left, hand right inside the foot, bend the knee, and just scoot your elbow, kind of the elbow lines up with the calf. Just create a nice little bend. This doesn't have to be big, just arm touching leg. See if you can lean into your arm just a tiny bit. And release. Go ahead and turn to the front edge of your mat. The back foot steps to the front foot. Lift halfway. Pause here for just a moment. Let your blood pressure neutralize. Steady your breath. And then slowly, slowly rise up. And bring your hands to your heart. One more standing posture. So we're going to stand on our left foot and create a figure 4 with the right knee. If you need a little help with balance, grab a chair, a wall. Flex your right foot and just sink down onto your left leg. It's like a one-legged chair. Hands to heart. Great place to stay, just working on balance. If you'd like a little bit more of a fold, you could bring your elbows towards your shin. And then since we're twisting here, I'm going to ask you to bring your left hand to your low back, right hand to the arch of the foot. And if that's going your way, turn that palm up and bring the forearm to the inside of the foot. Eventually, maybe even the elbow to the inside of the foot. Come back to center, lift and switch. Folks, we've come to the part of our practice called circus tricks. Cirque du Soleil. Remember, we're always just listening to our bodies, right? So stand on the right foot, bend the left. Let's take figure 4. This is a dandy place to stay right here. It's working on balance with a little hip stretch. If you'd like to come forward, can. Another great stopping place. And wherever you are, bring your right hand to your low back, left palm to the arch of the foot. Eyes on one point. Turn the palm and then see how low your body would like to go in this twist. Everybody breathe. And release. Come back to standing. Let's do another woo. Arms reach. Bow down. Lift halfway. And then step back into downward facing dog. This is your last opportunity to take a vinyasa. Take it or leave it. And then we'll lower our knees to the ground and drop over to one hip. Let's find ourselves in a seat. All right, once you find your seat, feet are planted in front of you, we're going to take a figure 4. So let's start by taking our left knee across the right. Same thing, foot is flexed, knees bent. You can bring your hands behind you and sit up tall. So this, we've just begun the journey of the gentle warrior. This is our first stop. This is a really great lookout point. If you want to stay here for this whole sequence, you can. You're going to get a lot of great hip opening just staying right here. I'm going to give you some options for moving on down the road. So the next stop would be cradle the baby. So take a hold of your knee and your ankle with either your hands or your elbows. And we're just going to cradle the baby. So bringing that leg in close to you. A nice option here is just to roll out your hip. To hold onto your foot and just roll that glute. So that's another great place to just stay and play. Stop number 3, you're going to take a hold of your left heel with your left hand. So this is just like Happy Baby, half of Happy Baby. And I'm holding on to the outside edge of my foot and I'm pulling backwards. So think of bringing your knee back behind your shoulder. Left arm can support you. And that's another awesome place to stay and just like when you're in Happy Baby, it's a great hip opener. All right, ready? Stop 4. Take a hold of the heel, the opposite hand. Scoop your left arm underneath that knee. And again, we have a little shelf. You probably can tell right there, there's a really big stretch in the lower back. So that's where a lot of people stop. That doesn't feel great to everyone's low back. Next stop, cross your ankles. So this is the last stop before we shoot all the way to Vegas. And what you're going to want to do if you want to try this arm balance is squeeze your legs onto your arm, kick your legs out to the left, your right ear will come to the ground. All right. This is that one that I haven't done for a while. Right ear to the ground, legs straight. So you're balancing on the back of your left arm. Oh, baby, do your practice. And all is coming. Bottoms of the feet together, bounce your knees. I'm going to give Hank the credit for that because he wanted to do more twisting postures this month. And so that is definitely a twist. All right, so now that you know what's going on, second side, feet on the floor, let's all start in figure 4. And you might just stay. Now you know why it might be nice to just hang out right here and just watch the show. Stay here or find Cradle the Baby. Another wonderful place to just stay and massage your hip. Grab a tennis ball, roll it out. The taller you can get your spine, the deeper you're going to get into your hip on this. These are all prep for that final posture. It's an opportunity to just look at your body where it is today and invite your body to do exactly what it does just today. Stop 3, half of Happy Baby. So sit tall, grab the outside of your right foot, pull that knee back behind your shoulder. You can see how that's going to be helpful if you decide to go further. Straighten and bend, feel all that strength. Okay, next up, hold the heel, the opposite hand, scoop your right shoulder underneath that left leg. And that's going to be your base. That's what you're balancing on. So you really want to make sure that knee is up high. And again, that's where a lot of people stop because there is a big stretch in the low back with weight. So listen to your body. Next stop, cross your ankles. And remember, we got to just shoot on into Vegas. There's no gas stations. We just got to go. So that's going to be coming forward. Squeeze your knees in, kick to the side. Sorry, bells. the ear to the floor. Whew. Try not to kick your dog. So when you've had enough fun playing with that, you'll be able to rewind the video when it gets posted and keep practicing those. Let's bounce out the legs. Let's slow the breath down again. I always hold my breath on those. Just bounce your knees. Just bounce your energy. Bring your hands behind you, feet on the floor, wide feet, windshield wipers. And just let that be a nice inner thigh stretch and outer thigh, back and forth. Put that smile back on your face. And then bring your feet together, lower yourself down onto your back and hug those knees into your chest. Side to side, front to back, corner to corner. We're going to come into legs up the wall, a very gentle and restorative posture. So you might go ahead and go to a wall, or you could put your feet on a sofa, or just dangle them in the air like this. It's kind of nice to have something under your hips. So if you'd like to grab a pillow or a yoga block. This is an inversion, hips above the heart and heart above the head. Close your eyes, place your tongue at the roof of your mouth. And just allow waves of breath. Waves of breath. You might even feel the energy in your feet as things are reversing. And now we have a choice. You can stay here if this feels relaxing to you, especially if you've gone to a wall, just stay like this. Or if you'd prefer more traditional Shavasana, go ahead and remove any props and extend yourself out flat onto your back. Arms at your sides, legs slightly separated, feet flopping open. Rest. You've held the pose for so long. All your sweat and effort, all your focus, courage, and connection have brought you here to this moment of release. Receive it with your whole being, knowing that you can't control where surrender takes you. You can only give yourself over to the flow of breath and consciousness that leads into the clear light of your remembering again. The flow of breath that leads into the clear light of your remembering again. Let your next breath be soft and sweet and full. And as it leaves your body, part your lips and sigh. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to stretch your body out long like a puppy just waking up from a nap. Roll to one side and find your way back to a seat. When you have found your seat again, let your hands come together in front of your heart. And take another sweet, slow breath in. Let it circle your heart and fill your body with light and energy. Exhale long and loud. May we all go into the rest of this day with the strength that we need. And may we bring to all of our doing also a softness. Thank you so much for being here today, my friends. Namaste.